Well, hey guys, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com with another 5 minutes to a better mix tutorial where we're looking at 31 mixing tips in 31 days. And today we're going to look at how to get your bass guitar to sound a little fuller, a little fatter. And to do this, we use compression. If you're new to mixing, then a compressor will be your best friend as you start to learn how helpful of a tool it is, especially on the bass guitar. And if you've been mixing for a while, this will be a helpful reminder of why you would want to compress bass and what it can do for your tracks. Here I have a session with some bass guitar, some drums, and some other things happening. Let's just take a listen to what's going on with the bass. All right, this is just a DI'd bass. I think they recorded it right into the audio interface. Nothing fancy. All right, not the most exciting sound. And what we're going to use is a compressor to squash parts of the signal in the bass a little bit so that we can increase the overall volume of parts of the bass, and we'll get a fatter, more consistent driving bass sound, because honestly, that's what your ear wants to hear. Most modern music, and by modern I may mean 20, 30 years, we're used to a nice, consistent volume and punch on the bass, where a bass guitar is naturally a very dynamic instrument. Your player may have plucked one string a lot harder than another, and he may be softer on a couple of notes. It's really hard to get a nice, consistent pluck. Just like a good drummer is hard to come by where you have a nice, consistent hit on the snare or kick every time. It's just really hard to do it perfectly. So compression can help even out some of those peaks and also get us a fuller, fatter bass guitar. What we're going to do here is slap on any compressor that comes with your basic DAW. In this case, I've got the free compressor that comes with Pro Tools. And what I like to tell people to do is start with a preset. I'm not afraid of presets because they teach you a lot. If you flip on a preset, this one's called bass guitar. Hey, what about that? Take a look at what settings it chose. In this case, the ratio and the attack and the release are really the three I want to pay attention to. Your gain and your threshold will be irrelevant to your sound source. They have no idea how loud your bass guitar is, so they don't know where the threshold should be set, nor do they know how much makeup gain you want, if any at all. So those are just a guess, but these are probably going to be a good recommendation for what we're trying to do. A relatively conservative ratio, meaning we're not really compressing hard, 2.5 to 1. And then it looks like a relatively slow attack and release, meaning the attack is when the compressor is going to kick in. It's going to wait a split second for that initial bass guitar to be plucked, and then it's going to start compressing the resonating bass line. Same thing with the release. It means it's not going to quickly uncompress. It's going to keep it nice and compressed. So what that's going to do is get us a nice, full, consistent volume. So I'm going to press play. We'll audition the compressor, and I will adjust the threshold and gain. All right, they're kind of subtle, but let me bypass it for a second. Especially listen to this verse. Bypass. You hear how the bass guitar dies out? You can even see it naturally when you look at it. Right? With the compression, though, it keeps it nice and full. You see what it's doing? It's keeping the volume of the bass, the resonating note, at a consistent volume so you can always hear the bass note. You bring it in context with a mix and you get a nice, fatter, fuller bass. I'll bypass. Bring it back. It's a subtle thing, but this will really help you keep a consistent level on your bass, keep that nice ringing of each bass note almost at the same volume as the initial attack. So you hear the attack and you feel the bass throughout the entire note, whether it's a half note, quarter note, eighth note, or even shorter. You want to feel the bass at all times so you're not losing that bottom. It's not dropping out at you just by this signal dying off, all right? That will help you get a fuller, fatter bass sound just using some simple compression on your bass guitar. Again, this is Graham here at therecordingrevolution.com with 5 minutes to a better mix. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we hope to see you on the next video.